Put in the minutes is a pretty horrendous snowstorm out there, and we are experiencing not a large crowd here today. Select board members who are present are Matt Getty, Mary Ashcroft, and Sharon Russell, so we have a quorum to conduct our business. We'll start with the approval of select board minutes for our January 2nd regular board meeting.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded to accept the minutes as printed. Any discussions, additions, deletions, or corrections? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. So 3 in favor, as that is the quorum. So I'm going to circulate the minutes. Maybe take one of that.
You only gave it that.
Get you.
Yes.
Okay. Are there any select board member announcements? No? Okay. Update from the chair. I will let you know that I have spent yesterday drafting, yesterday and part of today drafting the circle article, which will be printed in an upcoming edition of the Circle before town meeting. I did go into a little bit of our reasoning behind the budgets. I also, I drafted the select board report, which is now to bill for inclusion in our annual report. And the town report dedication has been done as well. So the chair was busy, but not very busy with stuff. Are there any questions from the floor or public comments from anyone who is not otherwise on the agenda? Anyone on the Zoom meeting?
It's just my growth so far.
Just Mike. Okay, no, we're good. All right. This could be. Let's see. I don't see Marcia Chioffi. And we have Chris Clark. Okay, Chris is dealing with the snowstorm. Kari Clark, town clerk and treasurer. Okay, would you like to,
Right from here.
and we need to pick it up here?
So Mike's the only one on.
Okay,
I know, but for minutes,
Ask him if you can. What you got?
a couple of things.
Okay.
Unfortunately. You want me to stand up there?
it's okay, nobody's watching.
There's some no problems. It is recording. Students get the internet forever.
If you were my side, you would have to worry. I don't always.
Okay.
Well, you would have to come over here so you can see what I do.
So here's a liquor license.
I was saying out.
About that time, yeah. Yes. And this is not here.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
All right. So, I gave liquor licenses to Mary. There's a couple to get approved. We collected 94% of our taxes for the second installment. We're still waiting for mail today to provide the times. There may be some online payments. And the most important part is the deadline for petitions for candidates and for appropriations. We do still have some time even though the warrant or the warning is drafted, which you will hear from that later. You are new to appropriations on the ballot. You have until the 18th to get your petition in. If you are a candidate and you want to be on the ballot, you have until the 29th to get your name and your position into by the end of that business day of 29th. And I think that's everything at the moment.
Right. Any questions for Kari Clark? We have liquor license applications from Maple Angus and 2 tobacco licenses from Jolly Associates and one second-class license from Jolly Associates. What we usually do is ask the police chief if he knows of any complaints. The police chief is not here and available, so shall we hold this until the next meeting?
Which table to the next one.
Motion's made to table till next meeting. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Do you want that? All right. Thank you, Kari. So Mike Delehanty, first constable, not here. Ed Dumas, town police chief, not present. John Paul Faignant, town health officer, public safety building clerk, the second constable, not present. Barbara Noyes Pulling, planning commission chair, not present. Mike Rowe, town rec director, is calling in. Mike.
Send me a message that he's no report. Chicken.
And Mike has no report, so. Oh, okay, Selectman Joe DiNardo is joining us for the meeting. Dave Sears, road commissioner, is probably out to register the plow. Okay. And Bill Sweet, town administrative assistant to the select board.
The only thing I have for you tonight, besides what's in the packet, is the listers provided a draft copy of a contract for business personal property services.
I do have instructions how we can be.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so I don't know if Bill gave you a copy. This is new, Joe. The listers draft agreement for the personal property appraisal services. Since we just barely got it, since the listers aren't on to discuss it, and we probably would want to do an executive session anyway, I would entertain a motion to table until the next meeting.
Move to table.
Motion's made and seconded to table. All in favor, please say aye. 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 Okay. So I'm going to put this in here in the originals. Bill?
Yep, thank you.
Okay. And what else did you have?
That was it.
Okay.
So in the packet, but
There are
it's
some
gonna come up
things
very
that we have.
yes, that's gonna come up very now.
You might set a new record for shortest meeting ever. Okay. We have, okay, so one thing, this is sort of the, the firewall. The police department advises that the firewall that they presently have to protect their computer services is very old and has been malfunctioning. To the point where Lynette has to stand up on a chair and reset the thing several times a day, which is not a good way to operate. So your police committee met and reviewed a proposal, and actually a series of proposals from CDWG for firewall services. Actually, Matt did a really pretty good job. We had a pretty thorough discussion. So Matt and I were the police committee. The chief was there and Ted Washburn. And the recommendation we have to the full select board is that we purchase the new firewall system, and it includes a 5-year, that's item C in your packet. It includes a 5-year license and a like 24-hour turnaround for any equipment.
Yes.
1-day turnaround for any equipment that malfunctions and needs to be replaced. So, and Matt can fill in the details because he was fairly recently dealing with firewalls in his office. Yeah.
definitely defer to the law and technical details. I'll do a lot of research on this. But I think the bottom line is these things cost money. The price for the hardware itself is competitive. A lot of the cost here, which comes to a total of $4,739.14, is related to the contract for services that come with that. They'll obtain quotes for different terms of years. This is the longest term, but in my view, it makes sense to go this route because there does appear to be money available in the line and current budgets for the police department to cover this. Yeah, this done, get put to bed for 5 years and not have to worry about this. This did, of course, lead to broader discussion about technology depreciation, planning for these things so that they don't become a surprise. Which I think we need to do in the police department more broadly for all of kind of equipment, although this tell us that the computers themselves are and frequent replacement schedule. So get the surprises for those things. So in any event, bottom line is, yes, it looks expensive. I guess we have to pay for it. So we recommend that we go ahead and do that now. Questions?
Okay, motion's been made. Is there a second? Second. Motion's been made and seconded to accept the quote for 5 years for CDWG for the police department firewall in the amount of $4,739.14. Money to come from the current year's equipment line of the police budget. No, we did check. There is money available. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Motion carries. Okay, thank you, Matt. So Barbara Noyce Pulling has joined us from the Planning Commission. Do you have any report? No.
We wish.
Yeah.
Maybe next.
This was last minute.
Is this recording okay?
Yes,
Okay.
this was last minute, Barbara.
Yeah.
Very last minute.
Remember the Housing Navigator Program?
Yes.
For the Regional Planning Commission. There was a survey done. It's going to go to residents first. It'll go out later this week. There'll be some posters put up around town with a huge barcode. But for people don't, not as friendly to barcodes, there will be an online link too. So later this week, it probably will be open for 2 weeks. So hopefully we'll get some information there and maybe some sites. Housing. And the survey hasn't changed a whole lot, but did I show it to you?
I don't think we saw it, but we were being asked to participate as a select board, but we said we're going to wait till the survey from residents comes back.
Yeah, that's what, so bottom up as opposed to top down. So that's out there, and then with the river corridors, we have a presentation that's been made for us by the Lake Champlain Basin Program and the Nature Conservancy and AEC, the floodplain management here, on just the basics of the corridors. Why they can help towns, what they need, and all that kind of stuff. So they will be doing this presentation to the Planning Commission, and anyone here is welcome to attend. That will be at our February 15th meeting. Pretty much, we'll start with them around 6 or 7.
We'll send around an agenda and a link to the select board, so we just, if we wish. Yeah.
So that was, they volunteered to do that. It's going to be it's a pilot presentation. Take other towns.
Good, thanks. Anything else? No. Questions for our planning commission chair? No. Thank you very much. Okay, so back to bill and packet. This is kind of still under police committee, and it ties over to our packet. You will see item number, letter E, which is information, and actually it's a grant agreement between the Vermont Department of Safety and the Federal Highway Grant for our Emergency Operations Center, which will be in the new public safety building. You'll remember that thanks to Ted Washburn's diligent work, we were able to get a federal earmark for $158,176 for the public safety building. Ted, in his zealousness to lock this in for the town, signed the application himself for the town of Rutland. And we think it would be appropriate if the select board now ratify that signature and adopt it as our own action of the select board. Motion is made by Max, seconded by someone over here. Okay.
You have to authorize something.
I don't think so. I think we're ratifying his signature on behalf of the town.
Sure.
Okay. So, all in favor of ratifying Ted Washburn's signature for the town, please say aye. Aye. Fine, motion carries. Okay. I don't know if you need anything more than that, but somewhere in the minutes.
It'll reflect it. Yeah, it's a digital signature, so there's nothing to sign. So, yeah.
Okay. While we're in the mood to sign things, we would have been doing F in your packet, which is a grant agreement for $200,000 for stormwater. This is what Andre's got for us, for stormwater work around town to help us comply with our mandate ENS4 work. However, like this afternoon, I got an email from the grant person saying, don't sign it because we've got to revise, we're going to do some internal review and possible revisions, so don't sign it. So we need to probably just throw this away and see what they come up with for the revisions and deal with it next meeting. No,
It's $1 billion that they're putting into this.
go to the whole one.
That's its whole federal rate of $1 billion.
Okay. We're going to be some, but we will once they get their internal review done and back to us. All right, so what else do we have in the packet? D is a piece of information which is kind of puzzling, but this is communication from the state of Vermont dated January 5th, notifying us what our equalized grand list study results are. And I was surprised to find that they're still using the common level of appraisal, which I thought they had moved away from, and that we're very much out of whack with the CLA, and our coefficient of dispersion, which I thought they had moved to, is also beyond the 15% threshold. So I think when we talked with our listers at the last meeting, they were preparing to get bids out for a townwide reappraisal, knowing that they would be able to probably get an appraisal firm on board for 2 or 3 years. So anyway, that's a piece of information. You might want to hang on to that, but it was a surprise to me that the numbers were different. Okay. So we have done the two things, the police committee we took care of the finance committee meeting last time, which was right before our last select board meeting by adopting the Aish audit report for the year, so that's taken care of. So Joe, we've got some highway committee things.
So we met Friday. Our agenda, we got an overview from Robert regarding the Stratton Road culvert. That's pretty much designed where he's going to finish up a little bit. We're going to start looking into funding, and then we can schedule when that might be done. Figuring on a 30-day closure for that to be done. It'll be a box culvert. Then once you know where it's right in the dip, you go past Perkins Road, we're right in that dip before you start up. That's the culvert that we're working on. So that's pretty much moving forward. We will be looking for a structures grant for that. The other thing that he did bring up about, he has been working on the North Grove Street work in front of Richard Cussel's, the old garden, trying to do something with that line of sight there. They've been having some awful issues with cars flying down the road and their trucks in and out. The one thing he did say though is that once we take that off and make the line of sight better, he said they're going to drive faster. So, anyway, but we're working on that. He had some preliminary costs around 200 or 250,000. There's a little more work, and Kurt did have some information about the materials and stuff there because he helped the town do it when they 4 or 5 years ago when they made the account. We got through that. Dave went through the documents for the linear provided and corresponded those with the certain parts of our ordinance, and there were quite a few things that were not there, like the as-built for the utilities and stuff. So what we decided was, and I think I got this right, Bill, you were going to draft them a letter in response to what we found was okay and what's not there. Like there's no survey. We don't know where the road is. And the other thing that we found out is those are not individual owned dwelling parcels. That is one parcel, and that is owned by the association. And then it's like a condominium.
Yeah.
You're there, but the association owns the whole thing. So that is an intriguing feature to this whole thing because we have to know where that road is designated. That has to be surveyed out. So that's going to go back to them.
And also, it will make easements,
Right,
convey
yeah, well, yeah.
easements easier.
Right.
Because it's just the homeowners association.
Working. Robert mentioned about the townwide water survey delay, and I don't remember what he said. Is that they were still discussing funding or something? It wasn't as smooth as what he originally projected.
Yeah, definitely not. So the program that was providing funding for a town-wide water survey went away in favor of a program to hire engineering firms like his, and the state is providing them with the area they're going to work on to do a complete survey of every municipal connection in every single building to determine lead pipe or galvanized pipe existence. So the money that was going to go to the townwide water surveys, they reallocated to this program. So he gave an example of the city has to review every single connection in every single building.
Public and private?
Every single one. So
yeah, I know that was a part of it you were interested in, and then I think we had a input to Clarendon engaging again.
Oh, yeah.
So there was
That's when I came off the Zoom meeting.
yeah, there was 8 or 10, 12 people there from Clarendon. Nobody, in any way. So the latest proposal from Clarendon, and it makes me chuckle, is they will plow and sand half-mile road at an hourly rate, and they will grade it when it needs grading at an hourly rate. And then they want us to work that hourly rate off by sending our trucks to Clarendon to haul winter sand from their pit to their highway. And Dave just shook his head.
Creative.
Right. So I failed to make this comment at the time, but I didn't want to really, Dave doesn't want any ill feelings between us and Clarendon, because in a municipal situation where mutual aid is needed between towns, we want everything to go smooth. But the part I was thinking of is when we had our first discussion, as you recall, our first discussion was they plow the road, sand it, we'll pay it. Grade it when it needs grading. If it needs material, we'll haul material in and you pay them for the grader. That was the original simple solution to this very simple issue. And they refused that and did it out. And one of their reasonings why they didn't want to plow and sand it was the truck that plows and sands borderline road would not have enough sand to do that. That's what their reason was. That's what we were told. And my question would have been, if I wanted to make the thing that how did this truck all of a sudden magically grow enough sand? Now they can do it. It's the same truck.
Right.
And now they can plow and sand it. So Dave said, no, we're good. So I guess I bring that to the full board if, you know, I don't know if we just let him handle it and say, no, he's got a system.
Did we get anything, was this the Clarendon Select Board?
There was a board member or two there, there was somebody else there. They would like to know our decision as soon as possible, and I'd make the motion that we reject it. That on the ones that are.
Motion's been made and seconded to reject the late stop for maintaining the class 4 portion of Borderline Road, which is in the town.
And just for further discussion, the Monroe Roads offers road grading classes. And so Dave's plan is he has 3 young guys working for him. The youngest is 25 or 28. He figures he's going to be here a while. So they're all going to move on a rent a grader. All going to up there. And we're going to have, you know, that's his plan moving forward. When we need it done, we will rent a grader, get it graded, and get our guys indicated.
They need to practice on any private roads. Okay, so motion's been made to reject the offer. All in favor of rejecting, please say aye. Aye.
And
With our thanks,
yeah, it's creative, but it's, like I said, the simplest, easiest is what we propose. And then we did discuss the Dyer Road little thing a little bit, and Joe Mandela is going to provide us with that map, and I'm waiting on that.
okay, all right, so that
I saw that was on the agenda.
yeah, that's A, so we're gonna, you can't let this go on too long.
No.
But
They're hoping to, you know, I think he's hoping to sell before we make the decision. They don't have to worry about it, but I did contact him, so we do have that information.
okay, good. So, and
And I don't think there was anything else, there was nothing else. The big items were Clarendon, the 2 projects that Otter Creek's working on, and the Windmere stuff.
yeah, and I gotta say, I'm disappointed because in the, not anything you folks are doing, but the fact the state is not gonna have that funding to study water systems, which is what we really wanted to do right now.
Well, I think they're looking at the health side of it because I guess there's still a lot of old lead pipe out there, so they're really doing that. And from what Robert said, I think they got like 2 or 3 of the water districts that are up in town.
Okay,
Those are the ones they're going to be looking into.
okay.
So they're going to be kind of working in the town doing something different.
But for lead pipe connections and not capacity and not,
No, but I think when you're an engineer and you're out there and you're doing this and you're thinking, so this is what could be.
you know, longer range, we should figure out a way we can tackle. Maybe have the planning, commission come up with some grant money, but a study of the water systems in town, and because we know some of them are not in good shape. The fire district is giving up their over the west Rutland area is connecting there, so we should do a comprehensive look at our water systems and what we need as a town. We keep piecemealing it. Maybe that's the nature of being the donor around the city, but it'd be nice to get it. Okay. Anything else? Questions for the highway committee? Good. Thank you, folks. And thank you for hosting another meeting. Should get together with Clerk and do a potluck or something, just as long as we don't know about this. Okay, so I think we're down to the action items. We've done, A is on hold, the Dyer Road matter is on hold till next meeting, pending receipt of the map from Joe Montella. The EOC Public Safety Building grant document we ratified Ted Washburn's signature on. The state grant agreement for MS4 is on hold because they need to review and revise possibly. D is discuss town buildings for warming and or overnight shelters. I'm going to ask that we put that on hold. This came up because Marty Wasserman called me and said, when we had the last snowstorm, he called and said, we're opening up Center Rutland Fire Station for a warming shelter, but just until 10 o'clock. And then he got into a discussion of the difference between a daytime warming shelter and a overnight shelter. And I know Sharon would want to be involved in this discussion anyway. Marty's not here. He wants to be involved. But that did trigger a question of mine for all of the buildings we have in town. And that is, do we have showers, for example, planned for the new public safety building in case somebody needed to stay overnight there?
I'm guessing that the fire station would be designed the same, their bathrooms the same as center
does.
Yes,
and it's not
they're
just
part of, actually showers are required by either NFP or whatever contaminated fire. So I believe that's what it's part of.
okay. Can they be used for just plain old showers?
Well, I guess they're in the bathroom, so you know. There's something.
I just want to say, I would like you all to understand, after 40 years dealing with the homeless, 90% of them are just people on hard times. But there is a 10% that if you're not trained to deal with this, it can be dangerous. That would be my thing, is that
Right now, more we can do.
that's right.
Yeah. Well, and I do want Marty in on the
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah.
I do remember when we had flooding this past July.
Yeah, I think that's a different case.
Okay.
For our town people.
Yeah.
Something like that, yes.
Okay.
But it can be dangerous and
And there's apparently a whole different level of
training.
regulation
You
and training and
Yeah.
everything else.
need- Yeah,
Okay.
you know.
Yes, the incident the other night was a town resident called Green Mountain Power. Green Mountain Power put them in touch with Marty. So it was someone in town that didn't have power that needed to.
And I think we can take care of our own.
Yeah.
You know, we know these folks.
I don't think there's quite organization open this up to the general.
No, and I think what we're doing is taking away the job that the state needs to do. That's not our training.
But if we need to open up, like they did at town, either fire station or somewhere to allow people to get in out of the elements that are just, because of 3 or 4 days of power or whatever, town residents, I think
Yeah, that's a whole different.
that's a whole different thing.
Also reminding me to ask you as the building committee, whether the downstairs renovation plans have plans for at least one shower. Can we please?
Don't remember,
They do not.
I don't think
They
we
don't.
do,
Can we?
but we, that we're new enough into that we probably could be working.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Because you never know. I mean, if we get stuck and we have to keep Kari and Susan over at the town hall, and they might want to be able to use the shower.
Just something I had. I know you're joking.
No, it's actually, and that.
But that was, when the fire station was built, that was part of it, because that is one of the town's emergency evacuation sites. If not, not a long term, but more temporary, for just exactly what Marty did, what was done this summer. Okay. You know,
And I can tell you that when it gets to really critical, even though the mission may be full, they will,
minus one.
we will get cuts. And our people will train.
Okay, so anyway, after that discussion, we're not discussing it tonight.
Correct.
Okay.
So,
No. We just want to make sure we floated the ideas. Okay, there's no need for an executive session that I know of. We do have in our packet item G, which is the certificate of highway mileage for the year ending February 10, 2024. Motion's been made and seconded to accept it, and I was looking quickly to see it does have class 4 designation down here, so if we gave up Dyer Road before this, would we have to amend this?
That'll be a next year. It'll be amended for next year.
Okay,
This is
As of when you sign it, yeah.
okay,
That's
all right.
There is an original folder.
Okay, all right. So, Joe, did you make, oh, and all of us get to sign it, this is good. Did you make a motion, Joe?
I did,
So-
Karen said.
Motion's been made and seconded to sign the certificate of highway mileage as presented. All in favor? Please say aye.
I,
Aye. Motion carries.
Sign it too, Karen.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay, sure.
This is so we get that. This is for $120,000
Yeah.
for the state aid. That's definitely the big stuff.
Yeah. Indeed, right on this, actually, that's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Do we have any other business?
I did get a hold of VLCT about 2 policies. We talked about the fraud prevention policy,
Oh, right.
and there was one other one. The fraud prevention policy, they sent me their model policy. It is short and sweet. I didn't bring it for things, but we should discuss next time, but, I will have copies for next time for that. But it's a pretty easy policy, and we would have to designate 2 people as points of contact. That's really the only thing we have to do, and we get adopted. And I did get a hold of Joe Anthony from the mall. He will be remotely attending the next meeting.
So can I look at the questions? I think primary among them was just securing the building. Yeah. Why are we getting the calls? These calls are supposed to go to what happened about their
last
security.
office.
Oh, no, that was like 3 years ago. Yeah. Any minute. Okay. At this time, instead of adjourning the select board meeting, I would ask that you recess the select board meeting so we can reconvene after the pre-town meeting. And if there are no changes to the budgets as proposed, we can confirm the budgets, ratify the warning. Do I have the warning?
I have a copy of it.
Okay.
Do you all need copies?
Should we, I mean, we could sign it tonight. If the numbers all,
I have a copy of it. I wrote it in.
okay, yes. So, but we can vote on it and then after you have the original ready to go, we can stop by the office and sign it. Okay.
Well, I have a second event.
Okay.
Hey, pumpkins,
You guys sign it.
You do. Okay, Joe, we do. Okay. Yeah, it's.
It wasn't there.
So is there a motion to recess? So motion's been made and seconded to recess the select board meeting until after the the pre-town meeting closes. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Aye, we stand in recess.
Thank you, Brandon.
Yeah, well, what time is this? Oh, now reconvene the select board meeting for the purpose of entertaining a motion to approve the town warning. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the town warning as presented, with the possibility of amendments to come in should any other appropriation requests be made within the deadline. All right, any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries, and you approve the warning. And is there a motion to adjourn the select board meeting? So moved. Motion's made and seconded to adjourn the select board meeting. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Good evening.